industry for the past 6, 7, 8 years. Just learning the ropes as I go.
Hmm. So you don't really do cover songs. I mean, a lot of the songs you're singing now are songs that you've actually written,
Yes,
right?
sir. I'm trying to transition a little bit more into playing my own stuff. I feel like that's kind of how you become somebody in the industry, I guess, or playing your own stuff is kind of what makes a name for yourself. But I'm not afraid to play covers at all. That's what gets people going in the bars. So
Right. So, so when you're in a bar, you don't like just. I mean, you're playing to the crowd. What's getting people up and getting them
yeah,
dancing, right?
yeah, yeah. I always try to look people in the eye when I'm playing, and kind of not to be cliche, but I want to make somebody feel something. I don't want to just be sitting in the background playing background music. I like to. I don't care if it's 20 people in the bar. I want to look them in the eye and make them feel something. And if I did that night, I know I did my job. So
So you kind of call that filling the crowd, right?
yes, sir. Yeah, yeah. And every crowd's kind of different. Every vibe's kind of different. So that's kind of the hard thing that you have to learn throughout doing it. But when you do it repetitively and do it so much, it's you kind of start to learn the different people where you're at, and what they like to hear. If there's an older crowd, you want to hear a little bit of older music,
Right.
something like that. So
So, writing your own music. I mean, what what motivates you to do that? I mean, what drives your? What do you I mean? You got girlfriend problems, or someone at home
yeah, I
that you
think
love in school, or
I think just I like to I just like to write about different things, and I like to keep it spice it up a little bit. I don't like to write it about just the same thing, but girls is always a good one. It's what every country song is written about. So
right?
I
Loving,
like to,
lying, cheating,
yeah,
right?
that's
Drinking.
right, that's right, yes sir.
So, you write your own music and all that stuff. So, that's just kind of and going to dance halls or events or venues to play in is just part of it. But I mean, really, you want to sell music, and so you have to go to a recording studio somewhere to get that done.
Yes
So, I
sir.
mean, where do you go to get it?
Yeah, so big shout out to my guys out in Clyde, Wonderland Records out there. That's where I go record. It's in Clyde, kind of close to Abilene, about 20 minutes from Abilene. And yeah, Garrett and Travis, man, they're the stuff, man. They know what they got going on, and it's cool. It's a really cool studio. It's like so Clyde's like super small town. I don't know. It's probably population like 1,000, 2,000 maybe, and the studio is like right beside a railroad track, and you would never expect studio to be right there. And you walk through the door, it's state of the art studio, but from the outside, it just looks like an old building. It's a pretty cool vibe. So
Well, that's good. But they know what they're doing.
yeah, absolutely, yes sir.
Well, that's good, and that helps. I'm sure.
Hey, it does help. It makes you sound good. So
That's right. But I mean, you're singing your own songs. I mean, I don't know that you're synthesizing your voice or anything like that. I mean, most it's you, right?
yes sir. Yeah, I try to keep it as raw as possible, and when I get back in the studio too, I want to stay away from the vocal editing. I want it to be raw. I want to hear that emotion in your voice. Because I feel like that's what people yearn for. It's kind of they want to hear the mistakes in the music. Because that's the difference between somebody who's using auto tune versus somebody who's playing that raw type of good feel good music, making you feel something. So
Right. So, who's your role model in the music industry? Or.
in the music industry, I'd say it's a lot of people because I listen to a lot of different genres, but honestly, I'd say like Eric Church. Eric Church is one of the first ever CDs I got. My parents got me a CD when I was probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 for Christmas, and I used to play with my Hot Wheels at home and spin that Eric Church CD all the time. And it talked about drinking and all the cussing and all that stuff, and I didn't know what it was talking about. But I've kind of like growing up, I've always thought back to that CD about you know you start to realize what he was singing about. So I'd say Eric Church. I like Parker McCollum, Cody Johnson, Turnpike Troubadours, Cross Canadian Ragweed, those kind of guys. So.
That's good. Well, I don't know most of those guys, but I was working an event one time, and I don't want to change it all about me, but
That's all right.
I was working an event at Chili Fest one time in Snook, and guy pulls up in an old beat up Ford pickup, and I didn't know who he was. He
Yeah.
introduced himself to me, Cody Johnson. I'm standing
Really.
there talking to him, and I go home that evening. My kids said, "Hey, Dad, did you meet anybody big and famous today?" And I said, "No, not really. I talked to this guy named Cody Johnson for a long time, but he just told me he had to
They
get in there and
flipped
go to
out.
work." Yeah, they just like,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, you talked to Cody." Anyhow, Clayton's kind of like Cody Johnson in that he's just a down to earth
Well, I
guy.
appreciate that. I'm a long way from
Well, but
It's a long road, and we're
I appreciate the
chasing
guys who've made it there or trying to get it there that don't get the big heads. That's the
absolutely.
point I was trying to get
Yes,
to.
sir.
But and and of course I can cheat a little bit because I know your parents and I know your dad's probably one of your biggest cheerleaders.
Absolutely.
And you're like the kid still playing t-ball,
Yes, sir.
and dad's out there with the pom poms cheering you on.
That's
So
right. Yeah, he's always on the sideline for me, and he goes with me when I play gigs around here. He's around Temple area. He always comes and he'll help me set up. He's big support. My family's a big support, mom and dad. So
well, that's good. So how do you promote your there's so much stuff out there now, social media. I mean, my goodness, we fight it in the store all the time. Where you've got Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I mean, there's so much out there today. How do you promote your music, and how can people find your music?
it's mainly through social media, and I just got a website. You can check it out at ClaytonLawsonMusic.com. It's got all my merch and music and dates on there. Dates most important thing on there, and yeah, I kind of just took to social media a little bit. I'm starting to get a little better at it. I feel like now you kind of got to do social media. That's just the name of the game now. So
Right. So, how you talked about going to college. You're a musician, and you live in Belton. You're going to school in Stephenville, and that's not a short drive.
yes,
How
sir.
do you juggle it all?
Well, it's not easy, but I think finding a good balance is the best thing you can do. Just find a balance between school, keeping your grades up, and then also playing music, and don't let one overrule the other. So don't there's sometimes I want to sit and play my guitar for 2 hours, but I got this assignment to do or I got this class to go to. So it's kind of just finding a good balance, and you don't want to do focus on school so much that you lose your your drive and your passion for what you do. So I think just finding a good balance is the way to do it.
Right. So, have you opened up for any artist?
I'd like to say I opened up for William Clark Green. It was back in October. We had this big music festival in Baird. That's kind of out there by Abilene, and he played like way at the end of the night. He was like the big show that was playing that night, and I opened up like 4 o'clock in the afternoon playing acoustic. But I still call it. I opened up for
Somebody
William
had
Clark
to start the show,
Green. Yes,
right?
sir. Yeah,
There you
that's
go.
right. That's right.
So, who do you want to open up for?
I'd say probably Parker McCollum one day. That'd be a super cool opener, because I feel like we probably have the same kind of vibe, and he just seems like such a dude that's got a head on his shoulders. That's something I kind of want to not follow, but you know,
But if George
chase.
called you, you wouldn't say no.
Oh, not at all. No, the king,
There you go.
the king of country music.
So, do you have any big gigs coming up that people need to watch?
Yes, sir.
for?
So I just got a text the other day. I'm playing Holland Cornfest this year, and that's something. It's kind of big for me. I've always wanted to play Holland Cornfest. It should be June 19th or 20th. I don't think we have an official date for that yet, but I'm going to be out there playing full band, and I think we're opening up for a guy named Mac Hankins. I don't know if he's from Texas or anything, but it'd be super cool to finally get out there, because when I was a kid, I used to always go out to Holland Cornfest, and it's kind of like the big thing for the town, so.
Right. And hey, folks, don't forget if you've got questions for Clayton, just type them in and we'll get them asked. No problem. So, we talked about this off air earlier, but you're graduating from college pretty soon, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, like December this year?
Yeah, December, yeah. I don't know an official date yet, but it'll be into December sometime.
So, I mean, I know that you're going to have to go make a living, but you want your living to be music. I mean, that's where you want to get to.
I'd say so. I don't like to say it all the time, but that's everybody's dream to just play music and do that for a living, make money with it. So, yeah, I ain't going to quit playing music after college, nothing's going to change. So we're going to see what happens,
And so, do you feel like you have to go to Nashville to get there?
I don't think so. I think with the way everything is, I think Texas music scene's always been big. It was big 10 years before I ever came into it. But I think that you can really cut your teeth in Texas before you ever venture out. And I don't think going to Nashville's a bad thing, but I've heard that it's a little bit different than the Texas scene and hitting, grinding it out before you go over to Nashville. But I don't think Nashville's a bad thing.
Well, there's a lot of big names that started in Texas.
Yes,
Bob
sir.
Wills, Ray Price. I
Absolutely.
mean, there's a ton of guys from the '40s to today that are big in
Yeah,
country music. I
of
mean,
course.
Cody Johnson, East Texas.
Yes, sir.
In fact, there's several guys that live in East Texas. So, I mean, it's there. Um, is there any platform that you get the most listeners from?
I'd probably say TikTok. When I post on TikToks, I get some followers on there, and people are always liking it up and stuff. So, but I'm trying to get my streams up on Spotify. It's just trying to get playlisted and put it on a playlist so somebody can just hear it randomly,
Hmm.
and then add it to their playlist. And that's kind of how you grow listeners organically.
So, are you on Spotify?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, Pandora, wherever you get your music. So.
Okay. So, you tell us about a gig you've got coming up. I mean, is there new songs coming out that people haven't heard yet?
Yeah, so I ain't been back in the studio in a minute. I kind of been working on my live sound, playing a bunch live. But I think I'm gonna get back in the studio probably in the next month or two before summer, or maybe early summer. And I haven't really decided what song I'm gonna record yet, but I kind of got one that's in the deck that my buddy actually said something about the other day. It's a song I got called Johnny. I've been playing it live everywhere I go, and I don't know. I think it's got a good feel to it. I think that we can kind of do something with it. So
Hmm. So, do you the songs that you've recorded and that you've written? I mean, is there a favorite that really, you know, comes home for you?
I don't really know if there's a favorite, just because they're all the projects have been different. I only have 3 songs out right now, but they all kind of have a different feel to them. But I guess if I would say a favorite one, I'd probably say Alive, just because that's the first song I ever recorded. And one of the first songs I ever wrote, and it's got a good meaning behind it. About living life to the fullest and making every day count. Because you never know if you have tomorrow or not. So
That's right. And so, we've talked about this before. It's not, when you go play somewhere and you've got a band with you. I mean, it's hard keeping a band together. I'm sure,
absolutely, yeah,
and the band can make or break your sets.
that's right.
So, how do you do? I mean, how do you? I mean, how do y'all? Yes, I'm sure it's hard finding a good band. Everybody lives right there in Stephenville, and
Yes,
you can
sir.
practice every day.
Yes,
So,
sir.
how do y'all pull all that together?
I think it's just finding the right guys that are in the right mindset, just like you are. Because when you're not in the right mindset, it's kind of just everything else goes out the window. They're not showing up to rehearsals on time, or not showing up to gigs on time, or just something else getting in the way. So
Right. Um, do you have a band put together that you try to play with all the
yeah,
time? Or you
I mean,
looking?
I've got a band put together, but everybody's kind of all fill-ins right now. I don't have a set band that I just get to practice with all the time. But that is the main goal in the future. So have a place to rehearse and go there a few times a week or 7 days a week. And rehearse, so we can absolutely make our live sound great.
Right.
So
And so your band, I mean, what's your band made up that you? I mean, do you have, I mean, I don't know if you're like the old school where you got a steel guitar and a
I'd like to
fiddle.
have a steel guitar. One of my songs, "Walking In," it's got steel in it, but I kind of just been playing 4-piece bands. Learning the ropes as I go. You can't start off with a big 7-piece band. When you're playing, but I kind of just been learning the ropes with like a 3-piece, 4-piece band. Like we're going to Huntsville tomorrow to play this frat party in Sam Houston Sigma Chi, and I'm playing a 3-piece band tomorrow. So kind of just keep doing it. Keep your gears oiled. Don't stall out. But I think starting off with a 3-piece, 4-piece band is the route I'm taking right now.
Mm.
So that is the goal in the future. Have a big band where we all get to rehearse all the time, and we're all willing to travel. And everybody's happy.
Right. I mean, and find a good. I mean, there's a lot of people that play
Yes, sir.
instruments
Yeah.
that aren't good.
A
I mean,
little
I'm
bit.
just being
Yeah,
honest.
yeah, a little bit. Yeah, that's.
I mean,
that's
I've
the
listened
honest
to
part.
some of these bigger guys play and or talk. I've
Yes, sir.
listened to podcasts with Jay Cooker, and I mean, I know he's one of those guys. And listen to his podcast. He is OCD. That people behind him playing instruments have got to not just play, but they've got to feel the music, feel
Yeah,
the
and you kind
vibe,
of
and
got to
play
at
it.
the same token. Like somebody can't overplay what you're doing. So you can't have a lead guitar player that's just sitting there and shredding the whole time. You got to have a guy that knows when to feel and when to step back. That's the same thing with everybody on instruments. That's the same thing with me. I can't be sitting there while a drummer's going crazy, just trying to overdo it. You got to have a good back to balance. You got to have a good balance in the band, and that's what makes a good sound. Nobody's competing for the spot. Everybody just feels their role, and that's what makes good live music. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's cut-ins where the drummer or the lead guitarist gets to play their little spot in the song, but the rest of the time it's kind of it's a mix. Everybody has to mix their sound.
Yes, sir.
So, talking about that, I mean, there's not steel guitar players aren't a dime a dozen. I mean, it's kind of an old dying breed. I don't know if there's a lot of new and upcoming steel guitar players or great fiddle players or lead guitarists.
I've seen some, and that's the good thing with like social media, because you'll find guys all over Texas or wherever that they're posting videos of themselves online playing steel guitar, and then you can hit them up, and a lot of them are taken up by a band, but that's how it happens. So I think social media is a good brochure for what somebody can do as far as playing an instrument.
So Amanda's asking a question. She's putting you on the spot, really.
All right.
She wants to know, do you have a favorite brand of clothing that you wear during your concerts for comfort, or why do you wear them?
I'd say cinch. I like wearing cinch jeans. That's kind of the only jeans I wear, just because they wear good and they fit good. I wear Anderson Bean boots, just because my dad's always worn Anderson Bean, and he kind of got me into wearing Anderson Bean, and they're good boots to wear. And then,
just to clarify, you're not sponsored by either one of those.
No, sir. Yeah, not at all. That's free advertisement.
There you go. But he is interested in being sponsored by y'all, so just call him up.
Absolutely.
So do you have, how do y'all travel? I mean, if you got a band together, do y'all have like everybody drives their own way? You have a trailer, you've got a bus. I mean, you see all these.
So right now we're kind of road dogging a little bit. Like tomorrow, everybody is going to drive their own separate vehicles. And I've got a little 6x12 trailer that I've gotten rigged out now that, I've got all my equipment in and stuff, and it's ready to go. But I actually just bought a van a few months ago, and I'm getting it fixed up right now. My dad helped me take it to the transmission shop last Friday, and we're putting a new transmission in it, and it's going to be ready to roll. So I'm working on having a little van, to roll around the gigs too, and that'll be helpful because everybody can hop in the same vehicle, and you don't have to worry about burning rubber and gas with 4 or 5 different vehicles going down the road. You just have one. So
there's a little bit of camaraderie in that too, that you're all traveling together.
Yeah, you're not just sitting right down the road in silence. I mean, you're figuring out what kind of music everybody listens to and what everybody likes to talk about, so it's pretty cool. And that's when you get into them late night drive stories, that kind of thing, and it definitely gets you closer,
So how do y'all, like your vocals, you have to worry about, I know some of these guys that sing 2 or 3 gigs a week, and, they get to a Saturday night concert or gig, and, their voice just isn't where it was, So what do you do to try and keep your voice intact and the same?
Man, honestly, I don't do a whole lot. I try to keep myself healthy. I drink a lot of water, and before gigs, I'll do those little Altoid mints.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pop some of those in, and it really opens up your vocals and opens up your breathing. Breathing's a big thing when you're singing too. So I don't do a whole bunch as far as warming up or anything like that, but I will warm up a little bit before a show with my voice and stuff. But yeah, I think mainly just staying healthy is the main thing, because when you get sick, it's just kind of your vocals are never going to be the same. And I've also learned that when you're talking a lot, talking is what really loses your voice, because if you're in a bar, not for a gig, and you're just sitting there talking, and you don't realize how loud you're talking because there's music in the background or people talking in the background. You don't realize how much you're trying to project your voice, and it really affects your vocals. So talking in a loud setting is kind of like, it's one of the main things that really kills your vocals. But I haven't had a huge problem with it. You keep that in mind, keep that in the back of your mind, because you got a job to do and you want to sound the best you can. So you don't want to sit there and just ruin your shot at it, So.
So do you do exercise? I mean, I don't know what your cardiovascular program is, or trying to stay healthy. I mean, I don't know if you go to the gym every
Yeah,
day
yeah. I
or.
go to the gym probably about 2 or 3 or 4 times a week. We got a good rec center up there at Tarleton State, and I go there and I'll hop on the bike. There's this bike called the assault bike, and it wears you out, but it's good. It's good for your cardio. I think cardio is a big thing to have because you don't want to be out of shape. And you don't realize how much a 2 hour gig, 2.5 hour gig can take it out of you. And if you can get to the end of that 2.5 hour gig and still feel like you can go do another one, that's where you want to be. So
Right. So, if you weren't in the music industry, where would you be today?
man, I don't know. If I'm gonna be honest, like I don't. That's kind of a question I didn't see coming that I don't have an answer to because this is what I want to do. I don't see me doing anything else. I've never really thought about that, to be honest with you, David.
Right. Well, you've been doing it for a long time, so
Yes, sir.
or trying to get there for a long time.
Yes, sir.
Um, you, I'm just curious. We talk about working school out and trying to juggle all your stuff together, and Clayton's actually going to graduate early from college. I mean, how many hours are you taking in college? Plus, trying
So
to
I'm
do music?
taking 15 hours this semester, and then I'm doing 2 or 3 classes over the summertime. 3 classes, I think. Doing 3 classes over the summertime, and then I'm doing another 15 hours in the fall, and I'll be graduated.
I mean, most people would be stroking out just because they're doing 15
sir.
hours.
You just got to stay on top of it.
And you're doing 15 hours playing
sir.
music, and
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you're on AB honor roll or how that works in college. But
Yeah, I actually made the president's list last semester, and it was the first semester I did that. I didn't even know I did it until one of my buddies sent me a picture of the president's list or whatever. I think that's you make straight A's or something.
so it can be done.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it can be done. Yeah, of course.
The kid all the way from Belton, Texas, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, it's been fun, and I appreciate you taking the time to come over here and talk to us. And
Absolutely.
we're trying to
Thank you for having me.
promote you. I know if you want to hear Clayton, not this weekend, but next weekend, if you listen to my morning show on KRXT 98.5, Clayton's going to have some music on there, and you can hear him there. You can also go to Spotify or some of the online streaming apps and listen to him on there. Just
Yes,
search
sir.
for Clayton Lawson. Go to ClaytonLawson.com. He's got merchandise for selling there you can buy and help support his music industry. He's going to create a GoFundMe app soon so that you can help GoFund his van.
That's right.
And not to put you on the spot, but you want to play a little something for us real quick
Yeah,
before
I
we
can
get out of
play
here?
you a little something.
I made him go get his guitar and bring it in here, so
Here.
he said I was really putting him on the spot with this.
I'll play you a little bit of that song that I was talking about earlier. This song is called Johnny. Johnny was the meanest around. Everybody liked his sound, but he felt 10 feet tall when he hit them cans. Never had too much to say. Got good at the game he played, and the women said he was the finest around. Now my friend's up above, and when push comes to shove, looking back at the times that we had. If he was here, he'd say, don't you waste the time of day with those tears rolling down your face. I'm always one life away. Johnny went from town to town, chasing them white lines around. No one could ever slow him down. He was dreaming of brighter days, being up on that big stage with music coursing through his veins. Now my friend up above. And when push comes to shove, looking back at the times that we had, if he was here, he'd say, don't you waste the time of day with those tears rolling down your face. Always one life away.
Man, that's good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, folks, you've been listening to Clayton Lawson and Cattleman's Western Wear. We sure appreciate Clayton taking the time to come on the podcast with us today. And watch out for next week. Also, don't forget, tomorrow morning from 8 to 10, KRXT 98.5 will be on there with Cattleman's Western Wear presents Western Swing and good old two-step, three-step belt buckle polishing kind of country music. You can catch Clayton tonight again at where?
Yes, sir. I'm playing at Porch Light Bar in Salado off Main Street.
So he'll be looking for you there. And again, thank y'all for coming on.
Thanks for having me, David.
You bet.